What do you two? This is your boy Sherry Speaks. Right now, I'll talk to you guys about Arrow Season 7, Episode 8, Unmasked. And in this episode, we finally get the return of Oliver Queen We get the return of Oliver Queen unmasked this time. Actually, as a matter of fact, this episode, he revisits an old colleague of his who pretty much was in the Skull and Bones, I believe. I really didn't suspect him to be the big bad of this episode. I really thought he was really genuine when he said, "Look, I don't know who killed those other two guys. I didn't know. I don't know who killed Sam and Matt. But it turns out Frank Cassidy, the mirror Cassidy, he was the guy that he was the assassin who killed one of the people that Max Fuller actually knew as a way of just to kill him. But being that I guess if Fuller knew that Oliver Winsley was pretty much investigating him. So with that being said, he said, "All right, I'm gonna send you." Frank, I'm gonna need you to go kill Oliver. So he shows up to Oliver and Felicity's house, tries to kill him. Felicity actually pops him with a bullet, which shocks the hell out of Oliver. And in fact, looks at her. He's like, "Where the hell did you get that?" She's like, "We'll talk about it later." So she hits the guy. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, slow this up." So he stops her from killing the guy, I guess. So they arraign him, or maybe he dies. I'm not really too sure. But then they have a bit of an argument about that, saying, "Look, I've changed. The one that you married and loved is gone." But now, mind you, at the very beginning of the episode, we see a woman working out very intensively. Now, I didn't know who the hell this was. I thought this was like the present day Black Star that we saw and heard about in the Flash Forwards. But we go to the Flash Forwards, and we see the Black Star actually fighting in a cage match, pretty much, underground fight club, pretty much. And so she's the only last person to know of Felicity. So Dinah, Zoe, and William go talk to her. Sorry, I got a burp on it. It's not coming out. Excuse me. Okay, there it is. And so when they actually talk to her, she's not telling them the whole story. She had a mouthful to say about the Black Canary and Diana Drake saying, "Look, if it wasn't for you, you're not, you don't really talk the talk. You don't really walk the walk here. You're pretty much just all talk. Pretty much is what you were telling Dinah. And but I was like, well, little girl, what do you know about us?" And she said, "Well, listen, I know you guys are a damn joke. If it wasn't for you, Star City wouldn't be the shithole it is today, pretty much. And that honestly, I thought Benedina was gonna knock me the hell out when she heard that. I'm glad she didn't. But for the most part, they look at Felicity's old apartment and they find blueprints to blow up Star City. But William was wondering, okay, wait a second, if that's the case, then why would Felicity keep those evidence? And Dinah's like, well, that's probably because the Black Star was in on it, which means Felicity was actually killed genuinely, even though, sorry about that, even though Felicity, became the calculator, it looks like she still had a heart at the end of the day. Or maybe she was just given that perception just because. But it turns out that I guess Felicity wanted William to find these so then that way he can become the Green Arrow. Now, mind you, as after the Black Star, after the Black Star tells William off, William and the crew off, William is seen drinking, I guess, and Dinah's like, "Oh, I didn't take you as a drinker." And so that's when Dinah says, he shows him the tattoo that they all got back when William was younger. Those 4 points of being a hero: selflessness, passion, patience, or something of that nature, and compassion, or something of that nature. I'm sorry. And so, if I got that wrong. And so, with that being said, I guess that's what made Dinah say, you have all the star qualities that your father had. And so, with that being said, I honestly I thought Ricardo Diaz was dead, but it turns out when Diggle and Lyla visit him for some information, I guess, on that painting, they have to go to him. And that's unbelievable. I'm like, damn, I thought this motherfucker was dead. Maybe he was just unconscious. Like, I can't. Well, can this guy die already? I hate to say it, but I just want him to die. Not only that, but then now Oliver actually works for the SCPD because Dinah approved him of that. When the mayor was trying to come down on Oliver for taking down Fuller, for apprehending Fuller, she wanted to pretty much, say, you pretty much broke the anti-vigilante law. To which Dinah backed him up, saying, "You know what? Actually, he didn't, because now he is now actually a member of the SCPD. Now the mayor said, "Look, I'm going to try to get that revoked." Dinah says, "Look, you can try, but that's not going to happen." So Dinah pretty much has to change her heart with the whole vigilante thing, and I'm glad she got back. I'm glad they all got back into it. You know, we saw Renee help out Oliver in the beginning of the very episode. Not to mention that cringy ass party that they went to. You know, the reporter's asking, "Are you going to get back into the role of the Green Arrow again now that you're out? You know, how does it feel? Having to serve that time as the Green Arrow." All these damn in your face questions, and then that's when we see the big bad of the episode, Max Fuller, say some really cringy shit to Oliver and Felicity. But then also we find out the woman that we saw working out in the very beginning of the episode, it actually turns out to be, I guess, the long lost daughter and sister, actual sister, of Robert Queen, which means that's Oliver's sister. And for some reason, it looks like she's after him. I guess she wants to kill him or something. I don't know. I hope we figure out more next week. But then also, we learn, just before I get out of here, that they have to, that William in the flash forward, William, Dinah, and Zoe, and maybe Roy if he's still included, have to go to the Glades to stop the bombing of Star City. Which means Zoe has to go see her father, which he isn't too pleased about. I wonder what happened. I wonder what made Renee pretty much disown his daughter, because it looks like he doesn't want shit to do with his daughter for some reason, which actually surprises me because Renee's always been really protective of Zoe, and Zoe's always been a bit of a daddy's girl towards Renee. So I'm thinking maybe what caused the rift between them was that maybe Zoe wanted to become a vigilante against her father's judgment and dismay, and she chose vigilantism over her father. So I guess maybe that's what caused the rift between the two of them. But this has been your boy Shay Speaks, man. I love you guys. God bless. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any requests as to what videos you guys want to make, let me know in the comment section below.